So hello and welcome to the second annual New Jersey Youth Transition Conference. My name is Hope Montes and I represent the Partnership for Children of Essex on behalf of the Youth Transition Conference Planning Committee. We will place a registration form in the chat box and for you to share your contact information so that we can share the recordings and resources with you from this workshop. Please note, for those who are seeking continuing education credit, you are required to complete the form, as this is the contact method in which we will send you your proof of attendance. Today's workshop will be hosted via the same link you have joined with today. You can see the full schedule on our website, and I will share the agenda on the screen after the conclusion of this workshop. Our presenter today is Melody Bundy, and she's representing NJTIPs at Rutgers, who will present on the topic of when the bus stops. So Melody.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm just trying to turn on my video. Yeah. Okay, there I go. All right, thank you so much for hosting us, NJTIP at Rutgers, and we're glad to be able to present this afternoon on when the bus stops running. So NJTIP at Rutgers, our travel training program, expanding mobility for people with disabilities and seniors. And for today's presentation, we're really focusing on youth in transition. And you're always welcome to add your questions in the chat. Sometimes if we haven't moved past that section, I'll try to answer it at that time. And I think the facilitators will assist me of seeing it, because sometimes with sharing a screen, it's hard to see all the chat questions at the same time. Okay, so there are different ways that you can travel around. And here in New Jersey, we probably mostly all travel around by a car, or some maybe by a motorcycle, even though today might not be a day you're traveling around by motorcycle. Some people travel around by taxis and public buses, and people walk around. So there are many different ways in New Jersey that we can travel around. And in NJTIP, we focus on using public transportation and ways that we teach individuals to use public transportation to get around. So our first, I want to show you all a video of Jake and Melissa, and they learned how to use public transportation. They first learned individually, and then we taught them together how to use public transportation to travel from their home in New Jersey, their internships in New York City. So here is a short video of these two young people.
Hello, I am here with Melissa Goldfine and Jake Simon. Hi, Melissa. Where are you going today?
Pfizer.
Hi, Jake. Are you going to the same place?
Yes.
And how are you getting there?
Same as the M42.
Okay. What bus are you on right now?
197.
What bus are you going to take in New York?
M42, same as her.
Okay. And Melissa, how are you going to pay for that bus?
I'm going to use my Metro card.
Okay. And if the Metro card doesn't have enough money, where are you going to refill it?
To the subway station.
Are you guys excited about your internship?
Yeah.
Where's the bus stop? You know how to hold your Metro card, Jake? Good. And Melissa, you're getting yours ready? Okay. Now, what street are we taking the bus to?
Second half.
All right, so that was a video of Jake and Melissa, two interns, where we showed them how to use public transportation to get around. And it's just like a highlight, just to show you what travel training. So after the bus stops running, how we can teach individuals or young adults how to use public transportation to get around. Okay. Right. So the mission of NJTIP at Rutgers is to increase the independency and self-sufficiency of people with disabilities, older adults, and others by empowering them to use the public transit system safely and independently. This stat, as of 2020, we had trained over 12,418 people using NJTIP based on our different forms of travel training that I'll be highlighting shortly. So the NJTIP timeline, so just some history about NJTIP. In 2005, 2007, NJTIP started as a pilot program because NJ Transit wanted to know if people with disabilities, if they're taught how to use the fixed route system, could they be able to use the fixed route system independently? And it was found that they were. And in 2007, NJTIP Inc. started as a program. It got incorporated in 2010 and 2011. Started working more with schools and federal grants to include with their services of travel training. And in 2013, NJTIP at Rutgers formed because we joined Rutgers University. In 2018, we had our DVRS partnership where we started to work with individuals for their pre-employment transfer or transition services with DVRS and be able to train them with their DVRS program as well. Voorhees Transportation Center, so VTC, is one of the 17 research centers at the Edward J. Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy. We have a Safe Routes to School program at VTC, Complete Streets, NJ Bicycle and Pedestrian Resource Center, and NJTIP at Rutgers, the travel training program, are part of the Voorhees Transportation Center, which is a part of Rutgers University. So what does NJTIP at Rutgers offer? So when we say when the bus stops, so it's different ways that we offer our instruction is we do one-to-one instruction, small group instruction, and seminars for professionals, which are considered connected transit. Our one-on-one instructions, we meet with the client and we show them how to do it. In some areas throughout New Jersey, sometimes we just do a virtual meeting or a Zoom meeting. So those are some things that we take away that we got from the pandemic, where we're still offering Zoom meetings or just to maybe just go over some trip plans with individuals. They might not need the travel instructor to go on the vehicle with them. So we do it in a different variety of ways. Our small group instructions, we do it at different schools, as well as we do small group instruction for older adults or community organizations, as well as we do seminars for professionals. We've done them at different school groups, as well as we have done it for professionals in different fields, or we've also done it for North Jersey and Bergen County. We've done it for like the Region 5 Transition Coordinator team, where we've done seminars for professionals or our Connected Transit. So our one-on-one travel instruction, as of January 2020, we have 455 graduates in our one-on-one program. That's where we do the intro to public transportation and make sure that it's something that they're interested in. We do our intake, and then before a travel instructor starts the route, we actually show them, we travel to do a route check to make sure it's a safe trip. Also, we do onboard or fading, as well as we do no cost. It's at no cost that we do our travel training, except for the cost of fares during the training. And it is, and at the completion of the one-on-one training, an individual would get a free pass. And if anyone is interested in any of our services, we, the last slide and through, there, definitely on the last slide, I will include my information, Melody Bundy, where you can email me or call me and let me know what services, as well as you could visit our website where we have a referral form also that I'll be highlighting towards the end, so that people that maybe want to connect to the professional trainings or any trainings that we offer will be available to assist you with that. So 30 independent travel skills are the skills that we try if an individual is becoming independent. Sometimes when we do some of our school groups, it's not an independence. Our goal is an independence. It's more of an overview of transportation or making students aware of transportation. So sometimes we might just focus on one area for some classes or some students, making sure that they're aware of stranger danger and how to be safe in the community. In school, you can talk to other people or talk to your classmates or talk to your schoolmates. But when we talk in public to strangers, making sure that, we're knowing or the students are knowing how to interact with strangers properly and appropriately, transit safety and how to stay safe on transit. Appropriate social skills when if someone's having a conversation on the phone, maybe not to get involved or look or do different things. So just those kind of skills as well. So not just the travel, some of the soft skills we work on when we do our travel skills, as well as safe street crossing, making sure that the class or the group of students are not just crossing together and dependent on somebody else to look, but everybody looking for themselves and making sure that they're aware that it's safe. Also handling fares and figuring out ways to handle fares. For some people or some students, they might just use the transit app and not use paper money or change because it's a little bit less cumbersome, or making sure they have the exact change. Or some individuals use the paper tickets. Some people use the apps. So just modifying and making sure the student is able to handle fare, which most is appropriate for them, as well as we teach trip planning skills and how to plan a trip using some of the Google Maps, the NJ Transit website, and different apps from NJ Transit, as well as the Transit app also. So expanding mobility matters because individual in a private vehicle. So if a student only use their parent, that's and start with the green circle. If a student only walks or can only walk but so far, it might limit, or bike but so far, it might limit like where they might be able to go after the school bus has stopped and be able to be active in the community. And then when they get over into the blue circle, where they're able to learn more about public transit and to use it, it can expand their mobility, and they'll be able to have more opportunity. And then once they get into the orange, where they might have a private vehicle, and some individuals, they might never have a private vehicle or their own vehicle. So the blue area might be where they stay, but they'll have the option to be able to get out more in the community. Also, and the blue and all of them, it also has the dignity of risk that individuals get to have, because they have the opportunity to figure out which way and which things they're going to do, and they are able to make decisions. So that's another thing about expanding mobility, is we make sure that people understand the dignity of risk, as well as the professionals and the family and caregivers that are connected to that student as well. So there are many mobility options in New Jersey. The things we try to focus on with NJTIP and during this training, we're going to talk about the local bus. And I'm going to try to highlight some things that's happened over the last 2 years. And some of those changes are still in effect, even though they were based on the pandemic, but those things have added to public transportation. I was at a training yesterday, and a lot of people mentioned how they never use public transportation, or they only use it with their students. So hopefully, hearing about some of things might make you figure out other ways that you could use public transportation. So there is also the interstate bus that we focus on. Those are the buses in North Jersey that goes in and out of New York. And in South Jersey, they go in and out of Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. The rail system in New Jersey with NJ Transit. And then if you go out, it would be like Amtrak. Then there is the light rail. There are a couple of light rail systems that we'll talk about. It's a really convenient. It's similar to the subway in New York, but there is a light rail system here in New Jersey. There are shuttle services. Some towns as well as all counties have shuttle services that I'll mention as well. Then there is paratransit that's provided by Access Link, NJ Transit Access Link, as well as there is ferries that you can use to get around. And then there are taxis, Uber, Lyft, GoGo Grandparent, and Ride for Life, which are different transportation network companies that people could connect to as well. Okay, so the local bus, NJ Transit bus, the local bus. So it's a short video about their accessibility features on the local bus. Also, I know in our circle, we said you could bike and walk. And then with public transportation, if you see in the picture to the right, is you could bike somewhere, and then you can actually put on the front of all of NJ Transit buses, they have a bike rack where an individual can put their bike on the back bike rack, and then it can further expand their mobility and where they travel to. So I'm going to show a video.
NJ Transit's bus fleet is 100% accessible with bus lifts or ramps. All buses have state-of-the-art securement systems to secure customers' mobility devices, and public address systems to make internal and external announcements. Internal announcements are made at transfer points, major intersections, final destinations, and any stop requested by a customer. External announcements of the route number and destination are made at all bus stops served by more than one bus route. If you miss the announcement and have difficulty reading the destination signs on the front and side of the bus, simply ask the bus operator what route this bus serves and its destination.
What bus is this? Number 11, Willowbrook Mall.
New Jersey Transit offers kneeling buses for people who have difficulty with the first step up into the bus. When a bus kneels, the first step lowers several inches toward the ground. All buses are equipped with this feature. If you would like to use the kneeling feature, simply ask the bus operator to make the bus kneel.
Should you make the bus kneel, please?
Then board as usual. All of New Jersey Transit's vehicles have priority seating for people with disabilities. Seating located nearest to the front door of the bus is designed and designated to provide easy access for people with disabilities. Depending on the type of vehicle, there are specific areas also designed and designated for customers with mobility devices. This area will be located nearest to the entrance that utilizes the lift or ramp. Be sure to arrive at the stop at least 5 minutes early. When the bus arrives, follow the operator's instructions. The bus operator will tell you when it is safe to get on the lift. Then, board the lift, lock the brake on your mobility device, and hold on to the handrail. The lift's automatic safety barrier will prevent your mobility device rolling off. After you're situated, let the bus operator know you're ready, and they will raise the lift. When the lift is level with the bus floor and stops moving, you can enter the bus. Let the operator know where you're going to pay your fare. If you need assistance, please ask the operator. The bus operator will be happy to help you. Next, move to what's called the securement area. Here, the seats flip up, and your mobility device can be secured for the ride. If the seats aren't already up, use the lever on the bottom of the seat and lift the seat. All mobility devices must be secured. The bus operator will secure your mobility device or assist you to secure it. It's the bus operator's responsibility to make sure your mobility device is secure. For your safety, an optional lap and shoulder belt is provided. If you need assistance, ask the operator to help secure the lap shoulder belt. Always make sure to signal the operator when your stop approaches. To do this, push the stop request strip or switch on the bottom of the flip seat. When the bus comes to a complete stop, unhook your lap shoulder belt and the securement belts, or ask the operator to help you. Then, board the lift. Lock the brake on your mobility device, hold the handrail, and wait for the lift to be lowered. When the lift is all the way down and the safety barrier has lowered, simply exit the lift and you're on your way.
Right, so that is the video. I'm just trying to remember how to get back to the PowerPoint, sorry. Right, so that is the NJ Transit bus, and those are the accessible features. So like just a quick review of what the video was saying is about the lift features. So all of their buses have the lift feature, you don't have to have a mobility device to use it, as well as there is the kneeling feature. There is priority seating in the front of the bus. Some people might have visible impairments, or some might have hidden disabilities, but that priority seating is available and towards the front of the bus, as well as the announcements are very helpful, we find, for clients. And sometimes you can let your student know, or we let students know, that they could request the announcement or a special announcement by letting a bus driver know, oh, can you let me know when I'm getting to, I date myself, they say Toys R Us, but maybe ShopRite. You can let them know when you're getting to ShopRite, so they can make announcements about when it's at ShopRite, and the bus driver will let you know. But it's still important that you're looking out the window and being prepared, as well as there are the securement and the seat belts for people in the wheelchairs when they are traveling. So this is what do you do when standing at the bus stop and a bus is approaching? What would you do? And I know everyone is eagerly excited and saying they would wave or hail the bus when it is approaching to let the bus operator know that you want the bus to stop for you, and you making sure that you have your fare ready so that you could board the bus and letting everything. And so sometimes we'll make sure that we're not on our phone or distracted. So these are the next couple of slides of some of the stuff that we make sure that we prepare our students for before going on public transportation. Make sure they're not distracted with their phones or reading things or playing video games so that they can be alert. We also make sure that they know how to ask for the lift. Some people, they might feel nervous about speaking. We also show them how they can have index cards or a piece of paper to let the bus driver know. They could put the note on their cell phone. Sometimes we give them cards. Like an ID card, looks like an ID card, but they just show that and it asks the bus driver, or maybe tells the bus driver their destination, because we don't want them to have so much flashy things that people know that, oh, that person is a little vulnerable and stuff like that. So, we make sure those kind of things aren't going on. Also, we need to make sure that they tell the driver their destination, their cross streets, the closest time points. So that's why Google Maps is also helpful, so they can see that. Also, we make sure they know landmarks. So like we might say, go to Dunkin' Donuts. And in some towns, there are many Dunkin' Donuts. So making sure they know what street. Also, sometimes it's important to know what is a landmark to know that you've gone too far, so that they can know if they do see the Burger King that maybe they've gone too far, and they have to learn how to go back. And so that's some of the stuff that we do in travel training, is we show them how to, if you've gone too far, how to get off and safely get back on track with your trip as well. We also want to make sure that they have their fare ready, or they buy their tickets ahead of time, either on the transit app or purchasing the paper bus tickets or the bus passes. They also can ask for reduced fare with their ID, but they have to have their reduced fare card ID ready. I'm going to go over shortly about the reduced fare program, which people find helpful as well for people with disabilities and students. So this is just some screenshots of the MyTix, and this is how you could purchase train tickets on the NJ Transit app. You could purchase bus, train, as well as light rail tickets. You can't purchase Access Link, only the fixed route you could purchase on the NJ Transit app. You could get one way for an adult, a child, or a senior was disabled. You could do one way round trip, or you could do a monthly bus pass. So as you could see from this example, the one-way adult for one zone is $1.60. And then for the senior disabled one way is 75 cents. So it's about half off. And then the monthly adult is $59. So there is no additional, so there is a discount on the monthly pass, but there is not a monthly pass for an individual with a disability. It would just be the same monthly adult. That was one of the questions in the chat. So just to clarify, they would just get like a monthly pass. And then for the bus and the train, sometimes they have even other different variations of tickets as well. And now on the transit vehicle, they have where you can scan the ticket. And so when you're paying with the NJ Transit app, you could just scan your app or your ticket, and it'll just scan the barcode code. We also make sure that people are aware of taking your receipt, because the receipt contains some important information. If there's any problems, you have great service, you misplaced something, as well as for transfers, paper transfer is needed. So if an individual is transferred maybe from the 13 bus to the 27 bus, they could get a transfer on the 13 bus. And then when they get to the second bus, they would just give them a transfer slip. So that is another thing that we teach. So those are just some highlights of some of the things that we teach in our travel training. I'm going to show another video, an accessible video, one of our other videos, and this one is accessible features of the rail, just to highlight some of their accessible features. It's a little shorter.
Let's look at our accessible rail services. Many of the 166 rail stations served by New Jersey Transit are accessible, and there's a continuing construction program to bring more online. These accessible stations are equipped with elevators, ramps, mini high-level platforms, or portable lifts. Additional rail station accessibility features include lower ticket windows and accessible ticket vending machines.
Welcome to New Jersey Transit. To initiate voice, press Enter key on the keypad. The keypad is located to the right of the screen.
Platform edge detectable warning strips, and accessible parking areas. All accessible stations are shown on the system map with the international symbol of accessibility. When you get on the platform, you can ask for a crew member for a bridge plate to make it easier and safer to board the train. Bridge plates are available on all accessible high-level and mini high-level platforms. The accessible cars on each train are marked with the international symbol of accessibility. Once on the train, priority seating signs show the location of accessible areas. If these areas are occupied, customers may ask a crew member for assistance. Customers may also stay in the vestibule areas by the center doors. The accessible area in the multi-level train cars is located on the boarding level at each end. Remember, the train crew is there to help make your trip as comfortable and convenient as possible. Make sure you let them know where you're going so they can ensure proper accessible services are made available.
Accessible features. So yeah, so just to review, so the accessible features on the NJ Transit rail are, as I mentioned, almost half our NJ Transit stations are accessible. They have the elevators and the ramp. And then this is another picture of the bridge plate, as they mentioned. And you might have always been at the train station, or you might have saw on a train platform this black box that says bridge plate. So that's what they're referring to, that the train operator would get out so that they can have the bridge plate for someone to remove the gap between the platform and the train. Okay, and then as I mentioned before, they have in New Jersey, we have the light rail system. There are 3 light rail systems in New Jersey. We have the Hudson-Bergen line, which is in Hudson and Hudson County. We have the Newark Light Rail, which is in Essex County and Newark area. And then we have the River Line, which is in South Jersey, the Burlington County area that people can use to get around as well. It's similar accessibility features. 100% of the Hudson-Bergen and the River Line are accessible, but the Newark Light Rail used to be called the Newark Subway. So some of their stations are accessible, but not all of their stations are accessible. The main thing to remember when using the light rail is to remember to validate your ticket, because it's more of an honor system. So like this young lady is doing on the video picture, is to make sure that individuals are getting their ticket stamp to validate. So if a fare enforcement officer comes around and you need to show your ticket, you won't get, I think it's between a $75 to $150 fine summons, or you might also have to go to court depending on what line you're on, as well, of what might happen for not having your ticket validated. So like I mentioned before, the reduced fare program, it is by NJ Transit. So it's available on the NJ Transit bus, train, as well as the light rail. It's for people with disabilities as well as seniors over the age of 62. They could travel anytime. They just have to have the reduced fare card with them, a Medicare card or a proof of age. Also, if they maybe have a job coach that assists them when they're traveling, on the reduced fare application, it has number 7, the last question. If you need assistance with traveling, or a personal care attendant that may travel with you, that person can end up riding free. So that they can assist them, like maybe if their job coach or their transition coordinator maybe travels with them to get to their job site. It could be helpful as well, because they'll have that additional savings. It's also an opportunity for the student to advocate for themselves, as well as be able to speak up, because they'll say that that individual is traveling with me. They're here to assist me. So it's also, we've seen, like, when individuals travel and they have to say that to the operator, it gives the students a little an opportunity to be able to advocate. So here's an example of a trip plan that we do. And a trip plan, we have a rhyme at NJTIP, day, way, say, pay, and display. And it's important whenever traveling, into students understand, and like even when you're driving in a car this morning, maybe to go to work, you had to know what time of day you were going to travel, because you didn't want to get to work late. So you had to know what time you had to leave, the way. You had to know like what roads you were going to take if you drove, or with public transportation, making sure you know the bus number or the rail line. Say what you're going to say to the driver, or if you're riding on a light rail, making sure you're validating your ticket. Your pay, maybe you have Easy Pass, or maybe you just pay exact change on the tolls if you had to take tolls. So make sure you have your money to pay. And then the display is what's it gonna say on the bus stop sign, as well as on the front of the bus, the destination. Sometimes the destination of the bus might be going a little bit further than where we're going. So making sure that students are aware of that. So, you know, these are some trip plan essentials that we do go over whenever we're doing travel training as well. This is just a couple of screenshots of the texting. So another way that we show students is how they could text to find out what time the next bus is coming, because each bus stop has its own stop ID. So we show them how to text to find out what time the next bus is coming. And then you'll see in this picture, this next screenshot, it has the My Bus number, which is the 69287. It has the stop ID number that an individual would type, so they can find out, for this example, is what time is the 880 towards Dover is coming at that bus stop, so that they would know what time. And then we'd show them how you could keep that in your call log or your text log, so that if you don't like a day like this when it's raining, you could just text it before you leave to find out when the next bus is coming. And like I said earlier in the video, we always remind the clients or the students to make sure they're at the bus stops 5 minutes early, because it's better to be 5 to 10 minutes early than 2 seconds late. And some areas in South Jersey, North Jersey, Central Jersey, if you are 2 minutes late, you're going to have to wait a whole hour for another bus. Some of the more urban areas, maybe you'd only have to wait 20 minutes, but that's why we make sure they understand the importance of trip planning. So this is an example of trip planning that we do. This is another way that we show how you use the My Bus feature to plan the trip. Then NJ Transit app also has functionality that students could use, where I was mentioning before, they have right on the screen where they could buy their tickets or their monthly bus passes. They could see departure vision, which is helpful so that you can know what train or what track you need to take your train on. My Bus, they also is really helpful, as well as there are schedules and fares as well on the NJ Transit app. This is again about the purchasing a ticket. Depending on how much the fare is, you could purchase the ticket. A really nice thing that NJ Transit started is they have the My Bus, which says how full the bus is. This could be helpful.
New Jersey Transit customers have a new travel tool offering real-time space availability on buses and trains in the NJ Transit mobile app. For bus customers, select My Bus, then your route, your direction of travel, and your stop. A list of upcoming arrivals at your stop will appear with green, yellow, and red indicators for light, medium, and heavy ridership.
So this was started because of the pandemic, but it's still going on, and it's really helpful if you have a student with anxiety or feels uncomfortable in large crowds, or just want to make sure that they have a seat. It could be helpful as well because it gives them an opportunity to see how full the vehicle will be. So this is available for the bus as well as the NJ Transit trains. So this could be helpful for them to just be able to plan their trip accordingly, as well as it does say how many minutes away the bus is arriving. So it gives them a good countdown to know how many minutes before the bus will get to the bus stop, to also make sure that they're on time. And then if they click it, it will also let them know if they miss that bus, how long before the next one is coming, which is also very helpful as well. And so this is what the departure vision or how full the train looks. So it's really similar, but it lets you know how full each car is. So that could be helpful as well for a student. We also make sure that, before that first day you go anywhere, you want to make sure students research the route, figure out how they're going to get to there, see how long it will take, will they have enough time, learn which tracks to go to, and also making sure that they're still listening for announcements and always talking to the train conductor or the bus operator. Because recently in Central Jersey, we were teaching a student how to get to his internship, but 10 minutes before his train came, because he decided he wanted to take a later train, but 10 minutes before his train came, another train comes in the other direction. Just for some reason, it goes on the track, a different track, which is actually the track that he wants to go on, but in the wrong direction. So just being able to be aware that sometimes if you go later or earlier, things may change, and being aware of if you get on the wrong train, how to be alert and realize and be able to come back and go in the right direction. We also make sure that they're comfortable being able to talk to the transit staff, making sure that they know how to be polite, please kneel the bus, also being specific, if I could say the word, like saying, can you please lower the lift? And always be firm, can you please get the bridge plate out now so that I can board, so that they can know exactly what you need. Another service that I mentioned before was about the paratransit system with the ADA. And that's a part of NJ Transit, and it must provide paratransit services for people with disabilities who cannot use fixed route service, and that is the NJ Transit system. And I have a short video of their system, so from NJ Transit, so you can see. I'm gonna just skip the beginning, always like long over that heard. So.
Link ADA Paratransit. In conjunction with the 1990 Americans with Disabilities Act, Access Link serves customers whose disability prevents them from using the bus and light rail systems independently. Access Link provides origin to destination rides within a defined 3/4 mile service area that correlates to the service a customer would receive on the routes shadowed by Access Link. The eligibility process includes a transportation assessment and requires medical verification. Customers who are assessed eligible to ride Access Link include those who are unable to use an accessible bus on their own or who can't reach a bus stop due to their disability combined with environmental barriers. Eligible Access Link customers are also automatically eligible for the reduced fare program and will receive a reduced fare card. The reduced fare program does not apply to Access Link service, but it may be used for travel on the bus, rail, or light rail services. If you would like to know more about eligibility for Access Link service and other accessible services, call Access Link at 973-491-4224, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. After you have reviewed all the information, call us back and we will assist you with applying for Access Link service. Access Link does not schedule same-day rides, so those found eligible for the service must make reservations at least 1 to 7 days in advance. Reservations can be made with a live agent via the Access Link website or through the Access Link mobile app. Access Link charges a fare for each ride that is comparable to what a customer would be charged when taking the same ride on the fixed route bus and light rail systems. Exact fare is required for all rides, and customers can pay the required fare for themselves and those persons traveling with them with cash or by using our electronic fare option, Easy Wallet. Once a ride has been reserved, customers will receive a reminder notification the night before their scheduled ride and receive another notification on the day of service when the vehicle is nearing their pickup location. Pickup can occur at any time within your confirmed pickup window. Customers choosing to travel with a companion or personal care attendant must make sure they are with them and ready to board the vehicle at the time the vehicle arrives for pickup. Drivers will wait 5 minutes for a customer to meet and board the vehicle. Finally, if your plans change, a ride reservation must be canceled at least 2 hours before your requested pickup window. Cancellations can be done via our IVR phone system, on the Access Link website, through the Access Link mobile app, or with a live agent. If you have questions regarding the Access Link service or encounter any difficulties while using the Access Link service, please call 973-491-4224 and select option 5 for customer service. Agents are available 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, excluding holidays. Correspondence can be sent via email to adaservices@njtransit.com. And eligible Access Link customers can also contact us via the Access Link website at accesslink.njtransit.com or through the mobile app.
Okay, so yeah, so that is the Access Link program. Doing good. So just stop sharing. Sorry. Sorry. We're doing really good with sharing, but I'm sorry.
Melinda, this is Amy. You're doing a great job switching back and forth to screens.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive watching you navigate. While you're doing that, would it be okay if I asked you a question in the chat that came through a little earlier? I know you were open to them during your presentation. Is that okay? Or do you want me to wait till the
that'd be
end?
great. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. I have a question here that's asking, does the Voorhees Training Center allow schools to come visit a CBI trip opportunity?
So the Voorhees Transportation Center, it's a lot of field work that we do. So we did have where a group did, but we would just like arrange when we would be in the office because we're not always in the office. We do like a lot of field work, but we do go places where we assist with CBI trips and go on the trips and maybe take you places. But sometimes it's to come to our offices. We're not always there.
Okay, thank you. And then I have another question, but I think you may have already answered or will answer it, so I'll hold off till you're done here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the county paratransit is another form of paratransit. All 21 systems, there's 21 systems, there's one in each county. Service people with disabilities, older adults, and other transportation disadvantaged people to get around different places. Another resource that we have for transportation is NJ211 or njfindaride.org. It's available either by the web or by the phone. So some people find that to be helpful to find different transportation resources. And then another statewide resource that is available is the Transportation Management Associations, or they're called TMAs. So this is just a map of the different TMAs based on the counties. And they're a resource for public transit, carpools or van pools. So sometimes you think of a carpool and you have to have a car to carpool, but sometimes they help you connect with people, even if you don't have a car. To be a part of the carpool, as well as community shuttles and how to get around walking and biking. This is just another map of the different transportation management associations. It's the same ones, but in a different format. So you can see the different transportation management associations that are throughout New Jersey. And then another resource that people use is ride sharing apps. So you probably lately been using Uber, Lyft, or the taxi or the yellow cab to get around. But there are, for maybe your student doesn't use an app, or I know some students, they like, if they live in an urban area where maybe it's a 10-minute walk, but some students, like I know a mom was saying how her daughter would just call an Uber, but it might not have been, she could have just walked, but instead just called an Uber instead. So sometimes parents might want to monitor or make sure they're included when they're their child is taking a trip. So there is a program called Ride for Life. So a student doesn't have to, they could have a smartphone, not have a smartphone. It could go straight through the parent. And Ride for Life is a service, on-demand service that provides on-demand transportation through a partnership with providers like Lyft and Uber, where they'll actually call the Lyft or Uber ride. And then the person that calls will be able to track the ride to make sure the person gets to their destination. And this service is a subscription. You would just sign up for the Ride for Life program. And then a student would just have money in their account. And the money would deplenish as they use it, similar to the Easy Pass system or the Easy Wallet system for Access Link. So that's another service that people use to get around. We all at NJTIP, we make sure that students understand that they need to be able to advocate for themselves and advocate for public transportation. So we show them how on the vehicles, it has who owns it. So like this vehicle says it's owned by NJ Transit, but operated by First Transit, or maybe in some areas, the lines are operated by coach buses or different service providers. So we make sure that the student understands that so that they can know who they're calling. We just want to make sure everybody knows that the operators or public transit staff, they do have ADA sensitivity training, and NJ Transit, they make the ADA a top priority. So if a student, or you have issues with public transportation, that's an ADA violation, it is important that they report it or let transit know so that they could be able to fix the problems and be able to know what's going on. With self-advocacy, we always say you have to ask for what you need. People can't always read your mind. We know that taking risks is risky, but also the only way to grow and do new things is by being willing to take risks. We also make sure our students understand that sometimes you might have to paraphrase what somebody else is saying to make sure that you understand what they're saying and make sure that you're correct and getting a clear understanding. But NJTIP at Rutgers, we do provide travel instruction. This is the NJTIP at Rutgers team. The NJTIP at Rutgers teams that provides travel trainings. We do accept referrals. Like I mentioned, here is my phone number. And then my email. Or the NJTIP at Rutgers email. My email is just my first name, my last name, melody.bundy@njtip.rutgers.edu. That's also information about our website. And this resource, I'm going to try to either put it in the link or I'll give it to the organizers so that they could be able to share. So this is just like a one pager where we were able to put all of our resources in one sheet, as well as we are in some other resource nets in New Jersey. We're not in all of them, but yeah, we're looking to further be in more of the resource nets in New Jersey, as one of the questions was coming in. Any other questions? Because I think we're scheduled for 2 p.m. I want to be good with my time.
Yes. Melody, you do have a few questions here. How can a person apply for NJTIP services? Do you have to pay for it?
Oh, good question. So NJTIP service is free. You just have to complete a referral form, and then based on where the individual is located or the group is located, we can figure out what funding structure will be able to provide travel training or group provide our services under. So it sometimes is a conversation to figure it out for our NJTIP travel training, but the only fee most of the time is paying for the fare.
Thank you. And another question, then a follow-up to this one, Melody, is how can an individual get NJTIP training?
Okay, so yeah, you could go to our website at njtip.rutgers.edu, and you can complete an online referral form to be able to, be a part of it. You can email me directly at melody.bundy@njtip.rutgers.edu. Yeah, so those are ways, you could contact us as well.
Thank you. And then follow-up question to that, Melody, is when you were showing all of those different apps that a person could use to access the different service travel systems within New Jersey and a little outside of our area, does somebody in your organization help that person to download the apps and like navigate and learn the apps, or how does that work?
Yeah, so in travel training, we can show individual how to download and navigate the apps. Sometimes we might not suggest that they use all or download all of them. Sometimes we show them on our phone and they can figure out which one works best for them, or which one they prefer to use. And some individuals, they do download all of them and use them from back and forth, or depending on where they are and stuff like that. But yeah, we will show them how to use them as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Opal, do you have any questions showing up on your chat? Melody, they might also be messaging you directly too.
Yeah, the ones that I got, I think I
questions.
tried to answer them as I was going.
Thank you, Melody. You did a wonderful job. I don't have questions on my end. And Amy, you don't have any other questions? Then that concludes the workshop.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
This was one of the bus stops from New Jersey Tips at Rutgers. Thank you, Melody, again for sharing your knowledge and resources. This was a great and very informative workshop. The workshop recording will be made available on our website in November for those in need of proof of attendance. for continuing education credits, you will receive an email soon with your certificate. It is up to your employer to accept this as proof of continuing education. You will not receive your certificate if you did not register using the form shared today. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at njutransition@gmail.com.